Okay, guys, we are recording. I went ahead and hit the button. Anyways, I was going to turn on my little light, but I think I'm going to skip it. It kind of looks a little bit weird. Oh, good. I see some faces popping on that I hoped was going to pop on. Because, I asked earlier today some different topics for tonight's Zoom because sometimes you guys, and I'm going to be really transparent. Sometimes I gotta take my glasses off for this, right? Sometimes I get in a funky place that I'm not sure that, like, I feel like I'm on repeat, or I feel like what I have to say isn't helping, or just whatever. Maybe I'm just in a funky place in my own mind as a leader. And sometimes I think that trickles down into an entire team. And something that I realized over the past couple weeks was that I felt like I was super disconnected. So I started making um, little tiny attempts to try to change some of that. And I'd talk to some of my leaders about it, and just feeling like I needed to be able to find a way to connect a little bit differently, right? This coronavirus definitely has a lot of us, I think, taking some life reflections, and really seeing how we want to change things in ourselves, good and bad, how we want to kind of progress forward. I've seen some really positive changes in some people, and I've seen some people go in the opposite directions like me, where they go backwards, but then they're reminded of how much of a badass they really can be. And you guys, I'm going to tell you, when they first announced the stimulus bonus, I did not believe that I was going to hit it. And the reason why I didn't believe I was going to hit it is because um, I wasn't getting a whole lot of back and forth, and I was kind of falling into like this depression. And um, so when I do that, I tend to focus on myself in other ways that I need to, and kind of dial in, right? So I got into messages, and I made a post about a giveaway. And holy crap, you guys, like, I seen it blow up on somebody else's page. I think it might have actually been Kaylee's page that I saw the post blow up on. But I was like, you know what? Why not me? Like, I might not have the best wording. I might not have the best things to say all the time. But why not me? Why not put this out? I work very hard, you guys. Every day I'm talking to people in my inbox. Every day my focus, and I will tell you this till the end of time, is to grow relationships. Always. Like, that is my focus on a daily basis. That might not show up the same for some of you guys as what it does for me. And let me make it very clear that I have spent a lot of time building my following and the people that I connect with. So please don't copy the way I work my business, because I'm in Messenger a lot, okay? Because I've already built these relationships. I've already built, things going on. But if you want a prime example, just go look at, that post, that giveaway post from the other day, and I'm going to tell you what happened. All these people that have shown interest that I haven't followed up with, I was like shooting messages to. It was like, man, I got skincare follow-ups. I've got 3-day mini follow-ups. I've got, man, she wanted black labels at one time. Oh, she wanted some capsules and a DFT. Oh, she wanted lifestyle mix. I mean, you guys, people comment, and they're perfect. Like, they they tell you what they want if you listen, but sometimes I think we're not listening, right? So anyways, I started following up, and I went from 300 PPA to like 1,300 PPA by the time it was over, in like a day and a half. And it was literally from just following up. And yes, I did offer some cash back to my customers if they ordered the Thrive Experience. And I did offer, a little bit, like, I offered free shakes to somebody that got steps 1 and step 3, because she's local to me and I could drop them off, and I had extras of the shake that she wanted. So I was like, I was working deals. I was finding out what people's budgets were, what they wanted, but I was following up. And I think that's really key here, is that I was following up with them on a post that they specifically commented on of interest. Still, telling me again, like, hey, I want your free stuff. I'm curious about your products. And it reminded me, like, I definitely wasn't in people's inboxes enough following up. Like, I'm in them daily, replying to stories. Currently, I'm working on building relationships on TikTok. Why am I doing that? Because I'm trying to discover a whole different platform and a way of building relationships with people. And I'm trying to understand how to make the connection to take them over to my Facebook. In fact, I'm trying to refine this TikTok that I just found was, why haven't you posted on Instagram for like a week? And it was like, because you got stuck in TikTok. And I'm trying to find this TikTok again because I'm like, God, that's so true. Like, it's so true. And my focus can't be everywhere. But I want, again, to come back to it's always one thing. It's always, how can I make a connection with people? How can I build the relationships with people? And how can I build that know, like, and trust factor, right? So whenever they do see something that I'm putting out there, they're open to checking it out. So, first, I want to say this. You guys, we have lots of Zooms, we have lots of trainings, we have lots of things going on. I want to encourage you right now to plug in where you can. Like, literally, like, if you just put on a headset, like, listen, I'm going to be, again, transparent and tell you, sometimes we get comfortable. And I wasn't plugging into some of the Zooms. I mean, I was plugging, like, I plug in a lot. Okay. Like, you see me everywhere. All right. But I was like finding reasons and excuses because my kids are home, because this was going on, that I couldn't jump on this, or I pulled out my headset the other day, and I've been on more Zooms and calls and everything else. And my husband didn't have to listen to him. My kids didn't have to listen to him. And I shot that excuse in the foot. Okay. So I want to encourage you. Yes, exactly. I see Andrew over there with his headphones. And I want to encourage you to do the same, because right now where we're at, like, we're in that prime season of when this business grows rapidly. And we're in a unique situation where this pandemic is like throwing us off for a curveball. None of us have ever been through this. Lots of people are going to be getting their stimulus checks. I know Kayla was going to talk about something on that. And the reality of it is, guys, is like, I've spent more money on, like, just going to tell you, because you guys know, this is my only income. Okay. Like, Lavelle's my only income. What have I been spending my money on? Giving back, paying off debt, because I didn't defer anything. I kept on paying my bills. In fact, I paid off 2 credit cards this last pay, and I'm wanting to get at least 2 of my higher cards paid off before the end of this pandemic is over. Why do I want to do that? Well, because I'm not traveling right now. I'm not doing all these things right now. So it's like I'm reinvesting. I'm trying to be smart. Like, I'm trying to come out of this pandemic like ahead, right? So I want you to think, if I'm thinking like that and I'm feeling okay, what are other people thinking right now? Well, most of them, if they haven't gotten their check yet from unemployment and they've been laid off, they are wondering where their food's going to come next week. Okay. They're wondering how they're going to pay their electric bill, how they're going to pay their rent, their house payment, all these different things, right? So we have a way that we can show them, but if we don't talk about that, or we don't put it out there, and not in a way that we're like cramming it down their throats, but just working our business and celebrating people, those stimulus things, guys, that just happened, shouting somebody out, sharing somebody else's, holy crap, they just got a 50% increase. Like, those things pay off. I can tell you guys right now, and Crystal, I hope you don't mind that I'm like sitting here. I'm shouting you out, but I'm going to say this. I was looking at my top PPA on our team, and Crystal wasn't even on our team like a month ago. Okay. And her PPA is 15 for the last 30 days. Her PPA is 15 in the last 30 days. I think you got your iPad bonus the other day. Yeah. Yeah. Her iPad. In fact, your start date was what, 4/3? Yeah, see, I'm a creeper, right? Like, I knew that. I memorized that. And here's what I want to say about that. She didn't have the experience in this. She started going live. She started sharing posts. She started celebrating stuff. She's been on every Zoom since she got started. Most people are not doing that. Most people have been here like 2 and 3 years aren't doing that. They're not getting on Zooms. They're not being consistent. They're not posting. They're not gaining that thing, right? So I want to encourage you to take it off the table that you have to be a certain rank, you have to be around forever. No, you can start today. But I want to explain this to you, and I want to make sure this gets you very clear. If you've been around longer and you don't have that initial excitement anymore, you need to find a way to get that excitement, because you will not convince anybody to join you, okay? Because you decided that now you want them to join you. You're not going to get people to join you for that reason. You've got to pull some excitement. You've got to pull some energy. You've got to pull some, what do you have to offer them right now? And listen, I've got to tap into that too, guys. And what I found was that when I was doing my follow-ups and I'm talking to these people, I'm addressing exactly those situations right there. Like with these people, like, what is it that you were wanting? Like, hey, I seen you commented on my post. Would you still want to go ahead and place that order for these capsules and this DFT tonight only? I have X, Y, and Z back. Oh, that's out of your budget. Okay. What, like, are you open to working with me on something, here? And then I could offer some promos, right? And the thing is, guys, is that if we're not talking to these people or following up with them, then we're not ever going to close them. You literally you're selling yourself. And listen, I'm going to tell you this, because I said it in a chat today, and then I'm going to pull on some other ladies. Guys, I am all about you cheer on your team, you support your team, you do all those things, right? But I want to encourage each one of you guys to make it a habit to get your IPAs done before you go onto anybody else's profile. Like, you're not even allowed to go and look at another Thrive promoter's profile or story until you have done certain things during the day. Making a post, being inspiring or encouraging or educating, or, whatever it might be for you, right? So whatever that looks like for you. Have you made a post today? I've been completely slacking on my stories. Okay, Amanda's gonna step it up tomorrow and get her stories going and moving again. Okay, but I've just been distracted on trying to find different ways that work for me in this new whatever normal. My kids are on spring break this week, so I'm like, I gotta get myself back in a habit, right? So how am I gonna get myself back in a habit? I'm gonna make a list. I'm going to make a list of things that I need to do every single day. Like, I haven't been doing my birthdays, so let's make this list together. Like, tomorrow, before I'm allowed to comment on anybody's stuff, I need to do my birthdays. Before I'm allowed to do anything else, I've got to post a story. I've got to make a post on Facebook. Ah, shit. I guess I better make a post on Instagram so people know that I'm alive. Instagram. And I guess I might as well share that same story to Instagram, right? This is before I'm allowed to comment on anybody's stuff. That's not that's a Thriver. All right? Like, for real. I'm not even going to open up my messages. Like, I'm not allowed to answer any group chats or anything like that either. All right. I mean, if you're doing a group chat where you've got IPAs, I know Rebecca and I have talked about that before. Like, she's got a group chat that she does, like an IPA chat, which, listen, if you're in the April accountability group or chat or whatever, like, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to try to put some IPAs up in the morning and try to get on the ball with this, because I've been slacking on it. And I think it's because sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I'm putting this out there and everybody else is putting this out there. Like, everybody's going to get tired of seeing the same thing every day. But the reality of it is that if none of us really do it, then none of us are going to do it. But if people get multiple of this, they can pick and choose what it is they feel like they're doing. And sometimes you're going to get people that teach you differently. That's okay. Take what you want from them and move on. All right. But anyways, I'm saying like get a Facebook post up, get an Instagram post up, get a story up, do your birthdays, go and react on non-thrivers posts. Like make it a rule. Like you have to comment on 20 stories, 20 stories or something before you're allowed to comment on a thriver story. Right? Like, listen, some of you guys might not have any thrivers on your page, but me, I have like a crap ton of thrivers on my page. I had to intentionally go in, and this isn't to be rude, to unfollow, not unfollow, but I snooze them for 30 days. People that aren't on my team, I go through and I snooze. Eventually, I might have to unfriend some of those people because I need to make more room for people coming in, especially like if we've got a new promoter that's coming in and they're running or whatever. Like, I want them to be able to connect with me. I want them to be able to reach me. I want them to be able to talk with me if we're doing 3-way chats, and building that connection. But as time goes on, I've always got to make room for my team first and my potentials first. Right. So I want you guys to do the same thing. Like you should be making an ideal of who are you focused on a daily basis? What are your IPAs and who are you interacting with? It should be your potentials and people that you need to follow up with, like, or grow a relationship with. Oh yeah. So I like to visit groups as well in the mornings. I don't always post if I don't see something, or I don't see a post that like engaged on and I don't have anything to say. I don't always post. Sometimes I just go to posts from previous days and like interact or whatever. And it just depends. I'm in a couple different groups. Mainly right now, I've been focused on specifically groups that are in my community. But that's just me trying to stay connected to what's going on community and supporting like small businesses and so forth like that. So anyways, those are some of the things that I want to encourage you to do, and check the team pages because, and also if something is working for you, share it. Listen, I had a conversation with Lisa. I swear I'm going to shut up after this. I had a conversation with Lisa today. I said, why are people that are running and crushing it, why are they so focused on like, we shout people out, but we need to be sharing these tips? Like on Zooms, on calls, on team pages. Like, why are more leaders? And listen, yes, I'm talking to you. If this feels like I'm talking to you, I'm talking. Why are more leaders not sharing tips on team pages? Okay? Like, listen, don't worry about it if you're whatever. I don't care. No rank, high rank. I mean, you probably work more than some people that are millionaires. Like, seriously. So come on, share the wealth, because Mama Arnett wants to know too. Okay. Because like, that's how I ended up on TikTok. Because I was like, shit, these people are cracking me up. Like, I want to learn and laugh. And I'm like growing my following like crazy. I'm like, I'm going to go viral. It's a mission. I'm going to go viral. I don't know what I'm going to do that's going to be really stupid and embarrassing to my kids, but I'm going to do something that I'm going to go viral. And I'm making it like, I might just make a video saying that, like, I want to go viral. Like, what do I have to do? That's stupid. Like, I'll do it. Like, you want me to go jump off my porch or something? I won't do that, but I'm just saying, like, that's what some of these people do. And it's funny. So anyways, Kayla, let's bring you on first, because I know Andrew, once he gets started, he's got his notes like sitting there too. He was like, I got my notes ready. I want to share. Kayla, you were talking earlier about people getting their stimulus checks this week, and kind of some ideas that people can be preparing for now, like going into, this week and the weeks following.
Yeah, I mean, if you're intentional right now, guys, the setup that you're about to make happen this week could be massive. I don't care if you're at zero, you've never enrolled a customer, you've never enrolled a promoter, you've never promoted, like, if you've promoted and you lost everything, your entire, like, none of that matters. This week, you could seriously set up to go to promote this month, even if you're sitting at zero. This week, you could seriously set up to, promote again, or to go anyways. It's a really cool setup that we have. People have been sitting around for quite some time now, and I know that some people are struggling financially. They are, but my brother, he came over the other day. We kept 6 feet apart. We sat in our lawn chairs in the front yard. And he's a supervisor at a plant. And he said, it's crazy because some people are making more money on unemployment than they made at their job. And I was like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, some people are making more on unemployment. And he said, not only that, but people can't spend money on anything. And so we started talking about that, how women can't get their hair done, their nails done, their lashes done, how the mall is closed, how entertainment is closed, how kids' sports are canceled. Y'all, I am saving thousands from my daughter's sports being canceled. We are not going to Disney and Universal, which both of those were supposed to happen. I mean, thousands are being saved over here. So I get some people are struggling, but I also want you to understand a vast majority of people are saving money and are making more money on unemployment and sitting there and about to get this stimulus check. And they're like, I'm ready to shop, or I'm ready to invest in myself. I also want to be very clear that for me as a teacher, I never would have stepped foot in this industry if I did not feel like I was forced to, if I did not feel like I had no other option. This was nowhere on my radar. So there's a lot of entrepreneurial spirits that are sitting there that are either out of work, or they're worried about their business, or they're worried about their career. And this may be the time that they're like, well, maybe I should try that side hustle. Even if my job, like my goal was just to get in this long enough to make my car payment and get out. So some of those people, they may come in and they're like, I just need enough to pay this bill and then I'm out. They may come in with the same mindset as me, but whenever they come in this and they see the industry and they see the background of it, they'll fall in love with it just like I did. So I want you to understand like what the setup is that you're walking into right now. But also, I mean, I did a post the other day that was 100% like, look, if I could give you any advice, it would be invest in yourself with this stimulus check. I'm going to do a story tomorrow that is 100% just right in your face. Like with this stimulus check, if you're wanting to start your side hustle, like we need to talk, and it's going to be a video of me explaining that. I'm going to go live with it. I am going to be very blunt with that part. But then I'm also going to be extremely intentional with messaging every single customer that has ever ordered, with every single customer that has never ordered, with every single promoter that has started and stopped. Maybe they want to relaunch, with every single promoter that has never started. And then with every single potential I have. And guys, the message that I'm sending is, I have a lot of people that are using their stimulus check to relaunch, if they fall in that category. Or I have a lot of people that are using their stimulus check to get their business started. Or I have a lot of people that's using their stimulus check to get some Thrive on hand because they've been missing it. I just wanted to see if you would like the details. So whatever category they fall in, that's the message that they're getting. And it starts with, I have a lot of people. It ends with a question, and it's like 3 sentences long. That way they have that FOMO built in, and that way it's ending in that question. So that way the conversation can keep going. So that's the exact message I'm sending. I'm being very intentional with my status, my stories, and my lives. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now to get set up for it. But like I said, this week, you go into it with the right mindset. The world is not broke right now. I don't want you to think that. Go into it with the right mindset and then tackle this head on, very intentional, and you can change your business in just this 1 week.
Yeah. And Kaylee, you said something there that I think a lot of people miss. When I had never, I mean, I didn't even know what entrepreneur, like, I really didn't know what marketing was. I didn't know what network marketing was. I didn't know what direct sales was. Like, I had to Google all those terms because it just was like something I didn't know. I didn't even know like you could like order online, it just ships to you, or that people built teams, or I didn't know any of that stuff existed. You guys, that was 7 years ago. I didn't know any of that stuff existed. How many people do you think don't realize what this actually is? A lot. Okay. And I want you to understand, like Kayla just wanted to get her car paid for. I just wanted to make 300 to 400 extra dollars so that I could like quit working my per diem job. Like, I was like, if I could make this amount, I could get rid of this per diem job and see my kids more. And then it went from, oh, whoa, I hit that. I did that. I don't have to work as much overtime now either. Like, you guys, I want you to take it back to what made you decide to join Lavelle in the first place. What made you decide to become a promoter? What were you trying to accomplish? And that is your marketing strategy. That is what you need to be sharing. What were you trying to pay off, you know? Because sometimes, we can get flashy and a little bougie in our sharing, and we can share all these people that have like accomplished all these incredible things. Um, but we need to remember that a lot of the people, that's not even real to them. And if you want to look less scammy and you want to look less spammy, bring it back to what it is that they actually feel like they can obtain. And you're going to see things start to change for people. Like how much could $660 help you right now? Literally, how much could that VIP bonus really help you right now? And it literally, Kayla, were you gonna say something?
I want to add just one more thing because you just made me think of it. Whenever you are doing your posts and your stories and your lives this week, keep in mind that the personality types, that was all I was going to add. You're going to have people with red personalities watching you. Whenever you talk about money, they're going to be like, yes, that's what I need. But the yellow personalities are going to just keep scrolling. So whenever you talk about how this is helping you, how this is helping your family, how this is allowing you to give back in ways you never imagined possible, that's when you're going to draw the yellows in. And then your blues, showing this Zoom, showing the community. Y'all, I don't even care if they're blue personality. People are craving this community and this connection right now. So showing that kind of stuff, that's where you're going to pull those blues in. So just as you're posting, as you're trying to build your team this week, keep that in mind, just to hit the different personality types. But that's it.
Yeah, I love that, and I'm glad you brought that up because Katie Sue was actually just talking about needing that red kick in the ass sometimes personality that and I want to know over here in the comments. I want you to comment because listen, not everybody wants their ass kicked. I personally need to get my ass kicked. Okay. Like I need somebody to challenge me. And sometimes I need to get a little fiery and see that somebody else is about ready to accomplish something that I'm like, shit, I can do that too. And then I need like that competitive nature to pump it. Like, listen, I'm gonna lie. But there was no way in hell, and I love Jamie. I don't think she's on, but I love Jamie. But there was no way in hell I was going to let her hit the stimulus bonus and me not hit the stimulus bonus. Okay. So when I seen her getting close to it, it was like that competitive, oh, hell no, came over me. And then I was like, high gear. I was like, all right, man, drop these excuses. You need to make this shit happen. You need to get it done. Like, just get it done. Go follow up. And then I was like, bam, bitches. Excuse my language. But that's how I felt. I was like, yeah. Right. Because I was like, yeah, I could do this too. Like I got this still. Like I am a badass. And I think sometimes, so I want to know over here. I want to know over here if what color personality you are. And are you somebody do you need like a little red sometimes? You need red. Say red over here if you need some red and you to get your ass moving, like to remind you of your gear, right? Uh you need red. Red. Katie Sue, I want you to tell people a little bit about just what you were talking about earlier today. And you talked about last night a little bit with your team, kind of like letting people kind of go if meeting people where they're at, first of all, is so important, guys. And I can tell you if I'm your sponsor, I meet you where you're at. If I'm not your sponsor, but I'm pretty much like your sponsor, I meet you where you're at. If you're lazy and you don't show up, like I'm not going to beg you to show up. But if you message me, like sometimes I'm going to just call you out on it, but I'm also going to be there to help you if you need it, okay, and give you direction. And um I'm always going to be there. Right? I'm always going to be there. You don't need to be a rock star for me to support you. Okay. Let me just put it that way. I'm always going to be there. Right. So the thing is that, Katie, you were talking about this last night a little bit of how you used to kind of get hung up on, when people would quit. And you spoke about an aha, and I'm not sure if everybody heard it last night, but I kind of want you to repeat it, of something that you saw whenever we were at that trip in October. 2 years ago, which I'd love to schedule a retreat, man. And it's kind of putting a damper on it with these, this stuff right now. But you spoke about an aha moment that kind of changed your mindset. And, you do have red in you and you're very, you know, go getter. So it messes with you when people quit. So share that aha moment from back whenever we were in Pigeon Forge.
Yes. If we could go back to Pigeon Forge, like that would just make my life, because it seriously was a pivotal moment in not just my business, but my personal life too. Like sitting around the table with multiple millionaires telling you, you're not doing anything different than what we are. We've just been doing it longer. That opened my eyes. Like literally I had Lisa K. Fuller over my shoulder looking at my back office telling me that's not that bad. Like I am nothing out of the normal. You know what I mean? We're all signing these people, getting them started, and only a small percentage is going to actually work like we work. So coming from my previous business, where we had to always try to fill and fill and fill and build and build and build and drag that dead weight with us to get anywhere, that was just like groundbreaking for me, that realization. Like, I cannot make people work. What I can do is start them off how I did, help them make their first post, get products in their hand, plug them into our training and our layered leadership, our pages, our calls, but I cannot make them dial in. I can't make them reach out to those people who like their posts. I can't make up their post every single day. So the ones who are actually killing it on my team right now are those that are doing this every day by themselves. Like I am there for them and they know that 100%, but I'm not messaging them. I'm not, hey, did you do this? Hey, did you make sure you did this? Did you follow up with this person? And I used to be like that. I used to try to micromanage my team and it got me nowhere. And this allows free time for me to get my shit done, my IPAs. I'm not wasting time on people who are, just wanting to sit. I am running with my runners and taking care of my own business. So it's really made a world of a difference. Just
Well,
getting
and
rid of that dead weight and
yeah,
not feeling guilty about it. I cannot take it personally when somebody starts and they fall off. I used to take that to heart and think, it was a reflection of my leadership or something I was failing to do along the way. But I think Stacy had a red moment with me. And I think Derek too. They just, that sometimes they really have to kick my ass and open my eyes and be like, there's nothing you are doing wrong. Everything you're doing is duplicatable. People can pick it up or they can drop it. And then you have to love them where they are. And if they don't want to run with you, that's fine. And so I've just adopted this attitude. I always tell them, if you don't even thrive anymore, I'm always going to be here for you. But, I can't hold your hand. So,
well, and I think, Katie Sue, something that I've learned and I've been inspired by people on our team is over the years is that I can always tell when somebody is putting in that time and they're growing, because I can tell by the way that they're evolving. And I can tell you hands down right now, like I have seen like you evolve, like I mean just sprouted into this beautiful butterfly and just strong. And it shows on your post. It shows that confidence to your people that follow you. They're seeing that. They're excited about your post. They know that you're always going to bring it, and I think that's what I want you guys to understand is that when you are showing up for you and you're showing up and you're showing things, like that's the best thing that you can do for your team. And listen, my leaders know me well enough at this point to know, like, if Amanda's being kind of quiet, there's normally Amanda's kind of going through something. But Amanda will always come out the other end, especially like something like the stimulus bonus, like just kicked me into gear, right? But the thing is that I'm always still doing my work. I'm always still doing my PAs. I have to cut out certain things. So what do I cut out? I cut out things that I'm not having as much results with. Like I haven't been spending as much time making my Instagram post. However, I know that when I'm interacting with people, I'm still growing those relationships. They're still seeing my page, they're still seeing my stuff. But so you just said something there, is that you don't feel guilty anymore about working your business. And every single one of you guys need to take that away from this Zoom tonight, is like, you can't feel guilty about working your business. And you need to know that your team, the people, as long as you're plugging them in, as long as you have them connected in a chat to you, whatever it might be, if they're in pages, if they're choosing not to show up or do the things, that's all. You can't do anything about that. You can't create somebody else's success for them. You can you can direct them on how to get that first post up, right? But they've got to make that post. They've got to be willing to have those conversations with people. They've got to be willing to send you a message like, I hate three-way chats, but I love it when my team sends me messages of a conversation that they're having that I can tell them kind of how to direct it or whatever. But I do three-way chats with people when it's right. Like we started a three-way chat, Kaylee, Andrew, and I, with a new promoter that they had that just came in, because it was the right time to introduce, to make sure that this person has this extra person here and has that support here. But guess what? If they needed me for anybody else, that'd be fine. But I'm going to tell you what, I don't want to be in a three-way chat with somebody that doesn't have interest in this business or these products, and they're just like wasting my time. Like, I don't have time for that business, and neither should you. You guys quit dragging people along that aren't ready to get ordering, and just move on. Just keep, like, I guess I'm just like, I'm at that point where, and I've been at that point. That's how I've always, my attention span, you can say it's the ADHD. I don't know, but my attention span is like, oh, nope. Okay. I'm out. Like, I'm done. I'm done with you today. I'll talk to you another day. Like, you go on my follow-up list, but like, if you start like asking a bazillion questions, I send you PDFs. If you get on my nerves, I'm probably not going to answer you. And I'm just being honest, like, because I just I can't deal. Like, if you start getting like weird on me, I'm like, let's create you a account, and you can send a ticket in about every question you have known to man, because I just don't have time for that, right? So like, I want to teach people how to find those answers. And Katie, I'm glad that you said that, because I think a lot of people really needed to know. I think a lot of people needed to know that, first of all, you're going to have few and far between sometimes showing up on Zooms and calls. And listen, if your team doesn't show up, they don't show up. You keep showing up. All right. You keep showing up, because you're the one that's going to keep on growing. You're the one who's going to keep on signing. You're the one who's going to, but you've got to be putting those actions into motion. All right. You've got to put those actions into motions, and you've got to be willing to grow and know that you've got to find some kind of personal development that makes you move and helps you. And I told you guys, every day I'm always trying to learn something new. Right now, my whole learning something new is like TikTok land. I'm trying to figure out how to go viral. I'm not joking. Like, I'm going to end up probably jumping off my porch or something crazy. But I did it back when everybody was like, oh, you're not going to grow a business on Instagram. And then I freaking blew up a business on Instagram. And now it's like, oh, TikTok, this app is stupid. And listen, I don't even know how to process some of the things that I see on TikTok. Like, so I'm like, I've got to figure this out, because people are making connections. People are talking about they got married from TikTok. If you can build that kind of relationship with TikTok, I know that you can build a know, like, and trust factor with TikTok, right? With personalities. Like, and I've also found on your For You page, like, I must be like a lesbian in another life, because there are a lot of girls on my For You page like that. I mean, I I always like their stuff though. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know something. I'm just joking with you guys. But I'm for real. Like, I'm like, man, like I'm seeing like a ton of stuff that I never saw before. All right. And I'm getting to know people that I never got to know before. And I never would have got to know them except for they're being placed right in front of me because TikTok's telling me that they need to be placed. We need to do a Zoom on TikTok at some point in time once we all figure this shit out. But I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to find a way to meet all these people now. And I'm like, man, this is a great way for me to get in front of new eyes. And I want you that if you decide to do that, to not waste your time, like just like making all kinds of TikToks, make some time liking their stuff, getting in their comments, going back and forth, building those relationships, and then get off. And then get off of it because it'll suck you in for hours, you guys. It'll suck you in for hours. And then you're going to be like, Carol Baskin killed her husband. You guys all know. If you watch TikTok, you know what I'm talking about here. Anyways, I can't help it. I've never even watched that show. So, okay, I'm done with that part. Let's see. I can't help it. All right. Andrew. Listen, okay, so shout out to Kaylee and Andrew. They both earned that stimulus bonus. And I know they both were hustling. And Andrew, I've been seeing you stepping up your game on Instagram, my friend. So even though I'm not posting a lot, I'm still on Instagram. And I'm still checking out people's profiles and comments and likes and stories and different stuff, right? So, shout out to you both, because that is some hard stuff to do for both of you to qualify for that, especially during all of this going on. So I know that you were writing some notes earlier, as you told me you were writing some notes earlier.
Couple, not many.
I walked downstairs from taking a shower, and he's got little sticky notes all around the computer.
She's lying. Look
you
at
can
my
see
screen.
right now.
They can't, so they don't know. Anyways, hi, I'm Andrew. I actually am not going to get into my story, but I did not want to do this business. I did not want to do these products, and here we are. I actually decided to part ways with my job because they didn't like the fact that I loved lifestyle getaways. So that was my deciding decision. I said, I'm not coming back. I don't want to see you guys again. And I came home. I said, oh, shit, what are we going to do, Kaylee? So what did I do? I did some PD, personal development. I sat down and realized that I can do this too. And it's been a lot of work, but I've had a lot of people that have hated on me and told me, even my own parents are like, this is a stupid idea. You can't do this. Well, let me tell you something. Yes, I can. So that is a sum up of my story. I don't know.
But wait. See, but here's the thing, and you're not giving yourself enough credit. Andrew has sought out building those relationships with other thriver men that he could relate to. Mark, my husband that he met, which my husband's not, he doesn't work the business, but still building those relationships with people. Jason Manquist, not being afraid to message Jason or add them into a chat or ask them to get on a live. Rob Sperry, like reaching out to Aaron Aponte, reaching out to these different men in the thing. He didn't wait for somebody to say, hey, Andrew, you can go and you can friend this person and follow this person. It was like, hey, these are the guys, like, and then Andrew took it upon himself. So Andrew, you need to give yourself a little bit more credit there, buddy, because you've also taken it upon yourself to, want to take those pictures and get better at your skill and get on Zooms.
What's crazy with what you just said is Rob Sperry, I didn't friend him. I didn't reach out to him. He friended me, reached out to me and said, I don't know you, but I just see you through all these other people that I follow in network marketing. And you're killing it, dude. So anytime you want to like link up, let me know. So then all of a sudden one day when the opportunity, like I was thinking about, Kaylee's like, what could we do? And I brought that up. She's like, you think you could do that? I was like, get a hold of Lisa. We did it. And that was because I was being consistent and just reaching out, like you just said, to other people that I didn't wait to reach out to. And one thing led to another. That's the connections you make through other people.
Mm-hmm. And see, I think that that's good. I mean, I think that not only guys can learn from that, but every girl that's on here right now can also learn from that, because there's people that I think we allow intimidation sometimes in this business. Like, listen, guys, there's no secret Courtney Glacier and I are very close. We're very, very close. And, you know, when we both she had her sponsor and multiple people in her upline leave, and I had a couple people in my downline leave, we bonded. Like, we connected. We were on Zooms. We were on calls. You know, and I want you guys to understand, Courtney's somebody also that while she looked up to me. Like, she looked up to me, but I looked up to her too for a whole different reason, right? And I want you guys to understand that that's what you have to do. You have to be willing to, like, say, you know what? I want to learn from you. I want, like, and it's not that this person is, I want to level up my game and I want to be better, right? So, like, people, and I think Ashley, I'm not sure if she's on tonight, but she was talking about that earlier today, about not comparing yourself and not allowing, like, where other people are in their chapters to kind of deter you where you're at in your chapter, you know? And Andrew, what was oh, Ashley is on, so we'll bring her on afterwards. What were some of the things that you wrote down that you wanted to
The princess is ready.
I wrote down, I started with planting seeds because that was the biggest, like, game changer of this whole thing, was all the seeds me and Kaylee planted from the start of this business till now. So the fact that people plant seeds and think that, like, or you get somebody in a post or somebody that's, like, interested in Thrive, the business, the products, 3-day, 6-day mini, whatever it is, a lot of people lose sight of that and think that, oh my God, that's a failure. They never ordered. You wanna know what? When you get an incentive or a bonus, those are all the people you get to go back to without cold messaging. That was huge for us. Me and Kaylee both sat side by side, scrolled back 2.5 years to 3 years when we first started, and went all the way up the list.
Because timing is everything. And maybe it wasn't the right time then, but maybe it is now. So,
Yep.
I mean,
and you know what? Every single time I've come back from, like, a conference or anything like that, that's exactly what I've done, because I'm terrible with my follow-up. So I've always scrolled back to the beginning of the messages of the beginning of time. And
I'm horrible with follow-up too. So I have a lot of follow-up to do when I finally decide to sit down and follow up.
But she's also very competitive, like you were saying with Pekka, where she's just competitive with herself in the entire company. So all you guys are her enemy when there's an incentive, because she wants to go out there and get that bonus before you do.
Well, because I lead, like, honestly, I feel like no matter what contest I do for my team, I always try to lead from the front, because what the hell is the point if I'm telling them to do all these things and I'm not doing it myself?
Right.
Like, I will always try to be in the top PPA. I will always try to be, like, I try to do that because honestly, that's what pushes me. Like, not some prize. Like, I mean, like, somebody asked in the leader group about like, if you get prizes for top PPA. I'm like, that's your job. Like, that's what you do. Like, the more people you help, of course you're going to be in the top PPA. So I was like, no, I personally don't, because it's just, I mean, but that's just my mind and how I work. I wasn't babied when I came into this company. If I had a question, I figured it out. I used my resources. I mean, we have everything from training videos to sidelines to uplines, and you figure out, you know, you might not relate to somebody. Guess what? That's fine. Go up to the next person, or go to the other person on this side or that side. Like, it doesn't matter. And that's why, like, for him, I mean, like Jason Manquist, some people are like, oh my God, it's Jason. Like, they literally talk like every day. And he surrounded himself with people. I mean, some of his closest friends, like, you won't say it bothers you, but I know it bothers you. There's people that literally who have been there and we've been there for, and now that he's home, are talking shit. And it's like, I don't understand. Why wouldn't you be happy? So it's like, again,
putting me down left and right. It's crazy.
Being around people that you want to, you know, that inspire you, that motivate you, you want to be around. I mean, you're like the 5 people that you hang around, and you don't want to be the smartest person in the room, because you want to constantly be learning and growing. And so
yeah, absolutely. And, like, even if you don't get your goals, like I was saying before with all that, if you didn't get your goal right now, if you didn't hit that bonus, all those seeds you planted, you can still continue to use to
for
go
the next one.
And right in your cloud, it tells you all your promoters, all your customers. Go through there, follow up with them, and if they're not working, see what you can do to get them back into it. That's another seed that you can do, not necessarily for this bonus, for a new rank for you to go 40K, 80K, 200K.
And I want to add on to that, literally the moment this was released, and I feel like I get that feeling anytime I have ranked, anytime I have achieved a bonus, I knew I was getting it. The moment in that bed when I opened that email, we knew.
Well,
it was in my head that I was getting it.
I didn't think we were getting it on both.
I did not say, oh my God, this is going to be so hard. Oh my God, I'm not going to get this. Literally, that moment, I instantly put in my brain I was getting it.
And then all of a sudden, we kept that fire fueling, and then we rolled it to mine. I said, holy shit, I'm getting it too. Snikes. And then I got stressed out because once you get like I don't care if you have $1 on there. If you see $1, you're like, I have a chance. So then you're running for the hills. So we were insane.
And you know what? You guys just said something else there is that the month that I went 200K, I knew I was going 200K. Like, I knew I was going 200K. Like, when the month started, I knew that I was going 200K. It was like that decision of, all right, and Kayla actually said something to me. I'm pretty sure it was you, Kayla, that said something to me, reminding us like what it's like to hustle towards that end of that finish line of like knowing like, oh man, like it's right there, like just continuing to push yourself and continuing to shoot those messages out and continuing to figure out a way to continue to follow up right up towards the end, because you guys listen, like you can get comfortable at your rank. Okay. You can get really comfortable wherever you're at. And it doesn't matter if you're a 4K or 12K, 80K, 40K, 200K. It doesn't matter. No matter what, you can get comfortable. And listen, my PPA over the fall was struggling. All right. I'll tell you what my PPA is. And I'm proud of my PPA because I'm not a superpower enroller. But at the end of the day, I'll show you. I'll tell you what my PPA is because I'm pretty proud of my PPA. But my PPA is 7/15/19. So I can't complain about that because and some of them have already fallen off, but because I had an 8 gap in between my PPA for my 60-day and 90-day at one point in time. And so I knew like, okay, like I'm signing about 7 to 8 new people a month in customers and promoters. Now that ranges on what those people are going to order, but that's a goal that I aim for every single month. And I want to encourage you guys to do the same, to set yourself, because if not, you're going to say, I just want to sign 2 customers. I want to thrive for free. Okay, but how are you going to build your check? You're getting your products for free now, but to build your check, you've got to continue to push yourself a little bit further.
I want to add something on that because, some of you maybe who don't necessarily have teams yet, or maybe you have enrolled a few promoters and they've quit on you. Do not let the fear of the fear of you don't know how to necessarily train, or you're too scared because you don't want them to fail, or that type of thing. I feel like, because I'm going to be honest, like I could be a mass enroller. Like I can sign promoters like that. And I used to struggle with customers. For me, I would get to a point where it was so many people that it was too much for me because I couldn't focus, that I then like block off. And then the next 2 months, I feel like, oh, my PPA was shit because I had it in my mind. I was scared to sign more people because I didn't want them to fail because of myself and not being the leader I could be. So don't let that fear stop you. Now, especially with the training videos, those are golden. I instantly know who is going to even do anything, or who, really even wants this if they tell me that they watched a training video. Mm-hmm. Or I give them a team Zoom and they plug in the same night. It's just simple things like that. Honest to God, there's no reason why anybody shouldn't be plugging into, you'll never not see me on anything. And there's days, yes, where you're not going to be able to, but I'm watching the replay, or I might have my camera off and have earphones in. Like, I don't understand. I don't know.
Well, and that's the thing though, is that if you don't, your team won't. And I really want every single one of you guys to understand that if you won't, your team won't. And you see me, everybody sees me on the team pages every day. You see me somewhere on Facebook. It might not be in the way that you think that I should show up, but I was talking to Andrew about this the other day, but I always show up. Like, I'm always around. And the thing is that I think that's where I'm a big relationships builder, and that's how I've built a lot of my business. But listen, let's not get it twisted. There's no doubt that I'm a thriver. There's no doubt that I love what I do. There's no doubt that I love my team. There's no doubt that every day I show up and I'm home because of this industry and this business. And the people that follow me know that. Like, they know that. It's clear. And I'm happy and proud of that. And I want you guys to know, like, the people coming in, if you aren't showing up, they're going to fall off even faster, right? They're going to fall off even faster. And you said something, Kaylee, too, is that when you've signed a bunch of people and then you don't sign people, and then you sign people and then you don't sign people or whatever, like, you start to lose momentum, guys, if you just like put on the halt because you've just signed new people. No, plug those people in, encourage them to get on the Zooms. They have the chance to learn just with everybody else. Okay. They need help with how to post. They need to post, whatever. Like, they can ask, like, you can ask them that question. But listen, if they're not willing to like plug in or do an IPA sheet, and listen, they're not going to know what an IPA sheet is. You've got to tell them, like, listen, go and look up, this is how you're going to find birthdays. Go and send happy birthday to all of your friends. Okay. It starts there. It's like, listen, yeah, go ahead.
Like, I feel like we can teach all the hard stuff. We can teach the business side. We can teach the, IPAs. We can teach what you should be doing and networking and all that stuff, but you can't teach people to care about other people. Like, you can't teach that. You can't. So, I mean, if somebody is being spammy, I mean, that's what we have everything for people as far as training and stuff. But if somebody honestly just doesn't care and they're only after a sale, like, we can't teach that.
And one thing that's woken me up like recently is, don't wait for bonuses and incentives. If you treat every Tuesday in the week forward that is your incentive, your weekly paycheck, your whole world changes. I didn't see that until I realized this is the only income now we have. I don't have a security blanket anymore. Your whole why changes crazy, like super crazy. So if you take away your bonus and incentives and make every week that bonus and that incentive, your business and your paycheck go up.
And that's why it's important to know your why, because I even told him that tonight. I said, look, he goes, yeah, well, we didn't have any other choice. And I said, yeah, well, guess what? If you're a mom and you don't have money to get your kids food, right? You figure that shit out. You do what you got to do to figure it out.
So treat your business like it's your baby, and you have to figure that shit out. You just do what you have to do to go get it, because there is literally no failures in network marketing. There's only quitters. So if you get down on yourself and you want to quit, that's on you. That's not on network marketing.
You can't fail at network marketing. You can fail yourself, but you can't really fail at network marketing.
Yeah, that's true, because there's tons of resources, guys. And tons of free resources, the list goes on and on. There's Zooms like every night you can pick up, you can learn, you go apply the actions. Like, Kayla sends out a freaking email, guys, like literally nonstop. Okay. And like, her emails are the shit. All right. Like, Kayla, like, listen, the teacher in you, like, I love, okay, because I don't have an ounce of that in me. None, zip zilch, none of that organized lesson plan stuff. Okay. Like, if you've seen what my nurses' notes look like, it's a good thing that doctors and nobody has to read them, okay, and interpret them, and just me, because they're a hot mess, right? By the way, announcement, Amanda doesn't have to go to the hospital till June 1st. Yay me. So I'm excited about that, because I was going to be starting next Monday per diem, but they're not utilizing per diem nurses right now. So, but all my tests and stuff are done. So anyways, that's good. Ashley, you still on? Ashley was saying something earlier, which I got to pull my favorite back over here. Ashley was saying something earlier about how to And listen, Ashley works at like 4:00 in the morning, you guys, and she drives an hour to work and an hour from work. But that girl is like first of all, I don't even know when she's at work because she can't even post when she's at work, but I feel like she's always around and I feel like she's always there. So Ashley, you said something earlier that, about two things: lead like you want to be led. Okay. And you also said something about how to put a post out overnight, to grab attention after you've gone to bed.
Yeah, so what I've been doing is, because my time is so limited and I can only post during certain hours of the day, I was thinking about how many people are so stressed out right now and they're not sleeping. Everybody became an insomniac overnight. Like, they're stressed out, they're not sleeping, finances are heavy. So I started utilizing watch parties overnight. So while I'm sleeping, my watch party's doing the work. And I mean, most of the time, obviously, I'm going to want to be on that watch party and engaging with people. But this is a post that normally wouldn't be up, and a lot of people are up at that time. So if I get up in the middle of the night to go pee, or I have an early day at work and I'm up at my 2:30 shift, whatever it is, I will throw up a watch party of Derek and Stacy's Thrive Opportunity, or Kaylee and Andrews, or whatever. And I'll let that run for that 45 minutes or whatever. And I'm getting so many comments from that because people aren't sleeping and they're like, oh my gosh, what is this? Like, they talked about money, they talked about sleep. And it's been really, really cool. And then I've been also posting a lot about rest right before I go to sleep because so many people are struggling with that. So that's been pretty cool.
Yeah, I can relate. I wasn't sleeping either. Past 2 nights I've slept like a baby though. I don't know why. No, but for real, I've really struggled with my sleep schedule. And over the past, probably last month. And I think honestly, like, it was just a matter of, just, I think a lot of people, at least their brain won't shut off. Like, I laid there the other night and I told Donnie, I was like, I was bouncing from one thing to the next. Like, what if this virus never ends? Like, it's got to end, right? I'm like, what if, and I'm like naming off all this what if stuff. But the reality of it is like, we only have so much in our hands that we can change, right? And we can only focus on the things that we're in complete control of. And I need to go and post some rest before bed. That's a really good tip, Ashley. Because listen, I gave it to Leah too, because the Easter Bunny was coming and Leah's been staying up, and I needed her to go to sleep because I told her the Easter Bunny wouldn't come. I saw that. I told her the Easter Bunny couldn't come, so I gave her rest, and she was out like a light, so the Easter Bunny got to come. Kayla, I see you laughing at me. But the reality of it is like, I think us talking about that, and just putting out, and I love the idea. I never even thought about sharing a watch party right before I went to bed. But you know what? I bet you people would be more likely to hop on it thinking like, oh, nobody's going to know I'm on it. Like right now too, right? I think that would be a big one too. Listen, do you have any other tips, Ashley, that you wanted to share tonight, or any other advice that you could give?
Just super quick, I just want to say, when you were talking about leading, like you want to be led, you guys, it's so important right now, because I know that there's a ton of us on our team that have like lost uplines or downlines or whatever, and team members have left and come and gone. But right now, the number one thing in everybody's world is community. Like, it doesn't matter people in this industry or not, everybody is latching on to whatever community that they have. And when you can genuinely be that support for people and that light for people, I was just helping one of my promoters. I'm so proud of her. She's signing up a promoter right now. So while I was doing this, I was doing that. And she takes the outcome out of the equation, and she takes the money out of the equation, and she solely focuses on whatever is in her power that she can do to help people And if you do that with your team, if you wake up every day and you just think of what kind of service can I provide for people, what kind of impact can I make, how can I show them the light and the excitement, because there's a lot of people killing it. There's a lot of people in planning season. There's a lot of people in different parts of their business. But if you can be that steady force of light and encouragement and community, like that is what people are going to latch on to. And if you want a team that's going to last and you want people that are going to endure the hard times and the good times, that is what you have to come with that purpose every single day to bring as much of your heart as you can. I mean, you look at Amanda, that's how she built her entire team, is her heart. And she didn't have all the answers or all the information. It was solely heart. She led with her heart. She thought with her heart. That is how you genuinely build a team. So when you go to bed tonight, reach out to those people. When you wake up tomorrow, reach out to those people. And if you can be that person that they seen when they signed with you, that person they trusted when they signed with you, and you can lead with that is how your team will create momentum, and they will stick with you, and they'll come out the other side. And I think that's so awesome that you talked about that.
I think I love that so much. I like to sometimes call different people out, and Crystal, I'm sorry. I keep on coming back to you, but you're such a damn rock star. I just love it. I'm just like eating it all up right now. Like I've got to eat out. Will you tell me? I'm sorry. Like I know I sound like such a stalker because I'm like, I know what your PPA is. I know when your join date was. I've watched your stories. I've watched your lives. It's because you're bringing a lot of attention to yourself, and there's a lot of, it's kind of like Brittany O'Neill. I love her, and she knows like I'm such a cheerleader of her, and like I'm excited to watch her sober journey. I'm sitting here drinking wine right now, but anyways, it's just that same kind of energy that I'm picking up from you, Crystal. And so, if you're willing to, would you share some of the things that you're doing on a daily basis right now? Because you've just joined this month, and like you're really like, I see you on every Zoom. I see you posting. I see you going live. I mean, it looks like you've been doing this forever. I've seen, all kinds of different stuff that you've got going on. You care to share like some of the stuff that you're doing? Because you're brand new. This is stuff that you're learning, that you're just kind of going about it and making it happen right now.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So basically, if there's ever any training videos or anything, I watch every single one of them. Sometimes I'm up till 3-4 o'clock in the morning watching them, taking notes. And I signed up for Kayla's emails and kind of did her little 5-subject notebook, but I did it in Excel. So I have like 5 Excel pages instead of like an actual notebook because I hate writing. And then literally I just do like the same thing every single day, and I do it over and over again. So like I have an app that you can write this list down, and for like example, I don't know if you guys can really see it, you probably can't, but literally this is my morning routine. 5 capsules, wake up, go pee, lifestyle mix, DFT patch, 5-minute journal, and yoga 365. That's my personal development. I do an inspirational story on Facebook and Instagram, if I remember. I check Facebook and Instagram private messages, and then I do my 3-step story in Facebook, and then I do Facebook birthdays, and then I do a 30-minute power interaction because I have a 3-year-old whose attention span is like this big. So for 30 minutes, I literally just hammer out likes and comments, likes and comments, likes and comments for anybody and everybody that I possibly can think of. And at night when I'm in bed, I'm literally going through and add friend, add friend, add friend, add friend. So that next morning, everybody who's added me, I go through and I power like all their likes. I do all the likes, the comments on their posts. And then by that time, it's breakfast time for Matthew. So I get his breakfast made. And then I do my morning Facebook post, something inspirational, something about me, something that people are going to relate to, try to inspire them. I'm a recovering addict, so I do a lot of that. I do a lot of yoga, so I try to do that. And then I go and add 5 more friends. And then I start 5 conversations with people, not even about the business. Just, hey, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you in a long time. How's COVID going for you on your end of the world? And then I clean my house, and then we do yoga with Matthew, and that's just my morning routine. So I literally do that every single day.
Wait. I just want to stop you right there. That was her morning routine. That was her morning routine. Okay. And, wow. And you said some key things, Crystal, right there. You were hungry. You're hungry. Well, you didn't say that, but I picked it up. You were hungry to make this work. Okay.
Yeah,
You were
I didn't have a
hungry
choice.
for information. She's staying up till 3:00, right? She did something else. She signed up for Kayla's emails. Okay. Kayla's emails, which by the way, Kayla put that over in the thing, right? She did something. The notebook didn't work for her because it just wasn't her thing. She modified that, but still made it work, right? So that's what you're going to find along this way, this whole journey is like, you've got to find a way to modify your schedule, a notebook, how to keep stuff in order, how to get your post. What app are you using for you said that you have an app that you use. What app are you using?
I just sent it in the thing earlier today. I think it's called Tasks.
Yeah.
I want to say Tasks is what it is. And literally, so that it has my grocery list on there. It has like every list that I need because I'm a list person, and I like lists because you just focus on the first one, you get that done, then the next, and before you know it, it's done. And literally all that stuff for the morning is done by 10 a.m. So that's the 10 a.m. So then from like 10 to 12 is kind of like time with my son and cleaning the house and, doing all the mom stuff and laundry and crap. And then there's 2 more lists. I have my afternoon list and then my evening list as well. And it's basically the same thing.
And the repetition though is exactly what it is that so many of us need. Like, and I can tell you guys this is like, when I stop writing stuff down, that's when I stop being productive. And like, that's just for me. Or I used to use a list, and literally I didn't allow myself to do certain stuff until I accomplished X, Y, and Z. And listen, this goes back to clear back before there was even like Facebook Messenger. Okay. Like I was doing Weight Watchers, and like we would have a thing like where we have to go and clean before I was allowed to eat lunch. All right. Like I'd have to go clean my house before I was allowed to go and eat lunch. So ridiculous. But I'm telling you, list work and repetition works because repetition creates habits, right? And not only does repetition create habits, but it also creates a know, like, and trust factor. People were asking where you add friends from, Crystal. Where do you add friends from?
So, my target network for me is moms because I can relate to them, obviously. So like if I have friends that are already moms, I go into their friends list and I look through other people's profiles, and if they have kids, I'm adding them. They have kids, I'm adding them.
Mm-hmm.
Also from groups, I'm in a cat mom group because I love my cat and I like to show her off. So I add people from groups like that too because have a cat.
So again, and it's just blowing my mind that you've like only been in this business like a couple weeks, because you just said something again that was a key thing that people need to understand. Where do you add friends from? Well, my target market of people that are going to relate to me are, I like cats. I like my kid. Yeah. I mean, like legit guys, listen to what she's saying here. Like, what is it that you are doing in your life? Where are you at? Like, I'm joining stuff that is 5Ks. Are you going to join 5K groups if you're not going to try to do 5Ks or half marathons? Hell no, you're not, because they're not going to relate to you. You know, for example, Brittany, I'm so sorry I talk about you so much. But you could join like some sober groups like right now, like, and get to know people that are on that same journey as you. You know, Crystal, you've been in recovery. So you could even join groups that are in recovery and people that are going to relate to you. Kayla is like great with teaching stuff. But listen, I'm going to share something because I got to share this because I know Kayla is not a big craft person though. Right? Because you would think that she would be though, being a teacher. I always think of teachers in like crafts and Pinterest and stuff, but Kayla's like not that person. And I love it because it's like breaking that stereotype, right? So Crystal, I think that you probably helped a ton of people with that information that you shared tonight. And I just want you to know, like, we definitely see you. I hope that you're putting 12K on that board and you're like running full steam ahead towards it, because honestly, like, you're going to create that momentum and it's going to be a ripple effect. And if you keep on teaching the things that you're doing now, you're going to create this momentum and this hope and this excitement. So run full force right now with this, and stick with your schedule. And if you feel like it, maybe you would want to type a little something up and like share it on the Dream Team 2020 page or something. And like, yeah, like we'll make sure that we approve that shit in like 2 seconds flat. Because for real, like, honestly, I think people just need to hear that it doesn't matter how long you've been in. Like, we all need to have a list. We all need to have repetition. We all need to stay hungry. We all need to keep on going. And I just want you to know, like, you're kind of what fuels my fire. Like, when I see somebody come in and is excited and has a big why and they're pushing through, like you guys, she lost her job. Like, that's why she joined. She lost her job.
Literally got fired and had no idea what the hell I was going to do. Like, my heart went to my stomach. I was crying. I was upset. I was lost. I was hurt. I worked at this job for 6 years and I poured my heart and soul into that job. And they literally, pardon my language, turned around and shoved it up my ass. And I used that as my fuel. Like, I ain't going to let them bring me down. I'm not going to let this stop me from doing something better. And here, at least I get to help people too, you know?
Yeah. So, well, you're inspiring me and you're inspiring so many other people. So keep on going, girl. Keep on plugging in, keep on growing, and set your goals high. I'm excited to see where you take this. I'm excited for that. And does anybody else have anything that they want to share tonight? If not, we'll wrap this up because my husband's ready to go to bed, and I suppose I'm going to finish up some stuff. And they go to bed too. But no, for real, this has been an incredible Zoom. I hope a lot of people kind of like really took some different things away from it, but realized at the end of the day, we all have to be responsible for our own actions, our own why, the things that we decide to do, our mindsets, our actionable tasks on a regular daily basis, reaching out to people, following up with people, those different types of personalities, understanding that sometimes people want that community. If you're not posting about community, try posting about some community. I just posted to my stories on Instagram and Facebook about this community. I took a selfie and my community, right? It's as easy as that. And listen, sometimes when you guys tag me, I just steal your pictures and share it to my stories. But the reality of it is just get something out there. People that are green, they like to know a bunch of ingredients and all that stuff. I don't know how to answer their stuff. I just know I tag them to somebody else. But really, it's just that you got to show up and you want to plug in and know that sometimes people are going to say stuff that you might not jive with as much, just like the notebook that Crystal was talking about earlier. Like, she turned an idea and took it into Excel spreadsheets. Maybe you're somebody that's paper and pen and you need that notebook. Like, for me, I like apps because I'm going to lose the paper. Okay. I like having apps for stuff. But really just getting consistent and making a list and making stuff happen. So I love you all. Thank you for showing up tonight. I see people dropping off because we're past an hour, but I just want you to know that I appreciate when you show up, and I'll get this recording up probably not till morning. But anyways, thanks guys, and everybody have a wonderful night, and thank you everybody that gave tips. You are appreciated.